faith in Stephanie M. Seaton's The Woman at the Well. This compelling composition underscores the enduring presence of the Lord's boundless love and grace, offering forgiveness and transformation. Don't miss your opportunity to discover a path to wholeness, forgiveness, and eternal love. Get your copy on Amazon.com today.
The power still works as it did in the days of old. You gotta reach out and touch the hem of his garment. Reach out if you wanna be made whole. You've been to the doctor and the lawyer too. The pain has gotten worse. There's no money to see you through. If you wanted to, you could just cry and frown. But faith says, hold your head up and don't you look down.
Change, but you never once complained. And though I've walked this lonely road of life, you never failed to take my hand. Your love is why I still believe that dreams come true if you receive. Oh, your love is why I still believe.
Hello, and welcome to another amazing episode of the Stephanie M. Seaton Sunday Show. I am so glad you tuned in again tonight. Tonight, I have my friend, Miss Neek. She is always high energy, always smiles. I don't care how you're feeling, you cannot be around this woman and not smile. Welcome. How are you?
Thank you. Thank you. I'm blessed. I'm going through it, lifing, but I'm here.
Yeah, man, if we could stop life from life, and right? But you know what? You
Yes.
said the key words. You are here. I want to give you your flowers before we get started on this interview. And I'm going to try not to cry myself during this interview
Oh,
because you're a
don't
very
start
special
now.
woman. We just going to go on
Don't
and get the
start.
mushy out the way first, okay? So Miss Sneak and I share a lot of things in common. We met several months back, and it was an instant. It was just an instant connection. She was on a panel, and I was a vendor at the event, and I watched her talk about her life, about her trauma, about her struggles. And I admired you so much because we share some same struggles. And we both, have, praise the Lord, we've worked through them and we have come out on the other side.
Right.
We talk about them just for the sake of helping others to heal. And, it's very important that we do that. We don't stop talking about it because we're on the other side, but we still want to reach back.
Hmm.
And that's one of the big things we're going to be talking about tonight because she and I both have a passion for reaching back and helping other people. But this young lady right here, my platform is healing, empowerment, and transformation. And I have had the pleasure of interviewing some amazing people on this show. Amazing. But I must say, tonight is a very special night because this young lady right here, she not only has went through healing, empowerment, restoration, victory over some things, but she is a whole new woman. She had a tremendous weight loss. So she not only transformed mentally and emotionally, but physically as well. And that I'm sure that has not been easy. And I'm sure she will share with us tonight her story. But I want you to know, woman, that I think you are amazing. She is the mother of 10 beautiful children, and she is a proud mother of 10 beautiful children. Even in the midst of becoming an author, a motivational speaker, a trauma healer, an encourager, because this lady smiles when she doesn't feel like smiling. And that's what I'm talking about. That's why I love her so much. Is I watch her from across the room when she don't even know I'm watching. And I'm just like, wow, look at her. She is shining. And so, regardless of what you're going through, she is an inspiration that, you keep your head high, you keep your smile on, and you do what you got to do because at the end of the day, we have people counting on us, we have people watching us, we have people that need to hear our stories, and people that need to know, what, you can keep making it. So I salute you, Miss Neek. I
Thank
salute
you.
you. You have an amazing platform. You're doing so many things. Like I was just like 57,000 followers. I was like, I don't even have time to talk to 57,000 people.
And that's only
I'm
on
sure.
Facebook.
Listen, yeah, that's only on one platform, but you know what? You put that time in, you put that energy in. I always see your videos encouraging people. And I think one of the biggest things that I can see from watching your platform is you are so real. And I
Yeah,
love that about you. You are
I gotta
so
be.
real.
I
Everywhere
gotta
that
be.
I see you, you are yourself. I don't see you changing up regardless of the platform. And I'm like, man, that lady right there. So I just want to give you your flowers. Don't change. Keep being yourself. You keep shining regardless of what's going on, where it's going on, all those things. Don't change who you are. You continue to shine and be the beacon of light that the Lord has called you to be. And I just want to say that to you with love. And I've never said that much. But trust me, I have been watching, and I just want to let you know that I strongly support you. And I encourage you just keep moving forward. Now you get to talk.
Oh, Lord, child, listen, I ain't bring the Kleenex.
Go on and
You
get
don't
the tissue
start
because
no
we
stuff.
haven't even gotten deep yet.
Yeah, don't start no stuff now. you know, first and foremost, thank you so
No.
much. I do appreciate you for sharing
Yeah.
your platform with me. But I
Oh,
also
you're
want to pay
welcome.
homage to you for doing what you do,
Um,
because if it wasn't for people like you and I willing to live out loud, willing to live intentionally, willing to
yeah.
be, vulnerable and allow our vulnerabilities to be a superpower, if it wasn't for that, there would be so many people that go unhealed. There will be so many people still on that path of destruction. There'll be so
Yeah.
many people that have no faith, that have nothing to believe in, that don't believe in themselves. Be so many people who would choose the
Mm,
latter. You know what I'm saying? Outside of
yeah.
living. You know what I'm saying? So there'll be so
Yeah.
many people still stuck where they are because they don't feel like they have anyone that they can connect to, or that resonates with them. With so many people out here that feel like they are all on their own, or that they're
Yeah.
by themselves, because that demon, that
Yeah.
that's depression, will have you thinking that you are by yourself. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? When in all actuality, it's a whole group of us out here. Hell, it's probably more of us than it is that are not, out here going
Oh,
through
yeah.
some same
Yeah.
or similar things. So I want to
Yeah.
first thank you, because not everybody is willing to, put their vulnerability on display.
I
One
get
thing
it.
about, and I do appreciate, you saying don't change. The reality
Oh,
of it is, I have changed. I've changed a lot, as you stated. I've
yeah.
changed in every way: physically,
Yeah.
mentally, spiritually,
Yeah.
psychologically.
Yeah.
I've changed in many ways, but the core of me will never
Yes.
change. The heart
Yes.
God gave me will never change. And I've
That's what
had a
I'm
lot
talking
of
about.
people come
Yes,
through my
ma'am.
life try to change it. And they have
Yeah.
almost succeeded. They have almost succeeded. I'd have been knocked down, drugged out. It say X fighter. I ain't
Yeah. I
fighting no.
saw that. I
I ain't
saw
fighting.
that, and I was like, I'm gonna have to ask her about this. What is she talking
Mhm.
about? You talking about WWF? Like, what are we talking about?
Baby,
X
I'm talking
Factor.
about WWL. Okay? I'm not WWL. I'm not wrestling with life no more. Okay? Oh
Yes.
shit, I gotta put that
Okay.
on the t-shirt. WWL. I'm an ex WWL fighter wrestling with life. I'm not
WWL.
wrestling no more.
You're not wrestling. Yeah, it's not worth it, right?
Nah,
Well,
I'm
listen,
done.
we have so many women that are tuning in, I'm sure tonight as well. And we love you men too. Don't get me wrong. My platform is not just for women. I just have a passion for women, okay? I just can't stop that. But and I have a lot of male friends watching. You guys come on, chime in. This coming Sunday, I got a whole platform for the guys, okay? We're doing a whole
Oh,
platform for the men. But
awesome.
listen, we both are survivors of molestation,
Hmm.
childhood molestation. We are both survivors of dysfunctional family. I'm laughing now. We weren't laughing when we were in it.
Mm-mm.
But thanks be to God, that He put hope within us. Like she said, there's a lot of people that are going through the things that we have went through, but the enemy has made them decide that they have to not talk about it. That there have been silenced is what's happened. They've been
Right.
silenced, but when the Lord gives you a boldness, that transparency has to happen in order for change to happen. You can't change something you don't acknowledge, and
That's
so if you're
facts.
worried about people, I think what it is, we both got delivered from people, Miss Neek. That's what I think it
Oh
is.
yeah. I'm
Yeah,
still I'm still going through people's deliverance at this moment. Yeah,
that's
people
okay.
still.
That's okay. It's a process. It's
It
a process,
is.
right? It's a
Yes.
process. But I think once we get through the deliverance of people and we realize the only person that matters is our creator, the Lord
Hmm.
Himself,
And
He matters.
ourselves.
And then, well, He matters because that's the only person we got to give account to. And then
Yeah.
us, ourselves, making ourselves who He destined us to be. But because it's like He wants you to be 1,000% yourself, but you
Hmm.
want to dim your light and make it 50% to make somebody else happy. And it's like, no, 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 no. You know what? I've hid long enough. I've been
Uh-huh.
quiet long enough. Like, you know what? I
Hmm.
have finally found a voice and I'm going to use it for purpose, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, I don't think I was ever silenced.
Okay.
I just didn't appreciate my voice.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
I didn't like my voice. I didn't
Really?
realize the impact. Oh, I
Hmm.
sound like a man. Like that. That's how I grew up.
That's what, yeah.
But that was the mentality I had. You know what I'm
I
saying?
get
Like
it.
that my deep voice and raspy, and then I got the nerve to be loud. Child, please, Like I didn't appreciate,
Yeah,
this gift, this tool. I didn't
I get it.
appreciate. I
But it's
didn't
unique.
realize.
Yeah.
Right.
Hmm.
I didn't realize the power that was within it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And much like life, as we start to evolve in life and as we start to learn lessons and we start to experience things, we start to realize what our strengths and our weaknesses are.
Yeah.
And I'll just tell you a quick story. And this is really honestly when I realized who I was as a person.
Okay.
Um, it was on Facebook, as a matter of fact, and I was on live, and I was just talking, about I don't even know what this was. Maybe 5 or 6 years ago, I was just on live, and I was just talking. Obviously, probably going through something, and I'm just live going through
Yeah.
it, sharing. And one of my friends who literally like from my neighborhood, back home in
Hmm.
Chicago, like who was my friend way back when I was going through some of the toughest times. Nobody knew what I was going through. Um, I kind of got on the platform, and this is when I realized my voice. Right, this is when I realized
Okay.
who I was, and I was like, I'm so powerful, and I'm just wanting to encourage people, and this, that, and the other thing, and I was just going through
Yeah.
this little spiel, and she said, "Neek, you've always done this." Like what? It was almost like she like, "What are you talking about? This is what you always did. Like you've
Yeah.
always been this person. You've always given good advice. You've always been a person to listen to. You know what I mean? Like so.
Yeah.
Essentially, she came in my lab and told me the person that I now identify myself as is a person they have always seen me as.
She
And if that
affirmed
ain't
you.
powerful,
Yeah, she affirmed you.
it.
And you know what? We have those aha moments that we
Hmm.
just need somebody to affirm us because we're thinking it, but we've been through so much stuff, I think sometimes. And we're going to talk a little bit about self-care and self-love. And but we go through so much stuff that it makes you believe less about yourself.
Hmm.
And because that bad and negative stuff happens so often, it becomes the norm.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
And, it's like, well, I don't really speak up much because nobody listens anyway, or this and that. And then one day you get this revelation and it's like you start talking and somebody listens and it's like, oh, what I'm saying actually matters. People are listening. Like, and
Right.
then the Lord, and then the Lord will send somebody like your
Hmm.
friend to affirm you, and that's when this whole persona and this whole person that's been hiding and tucked away feels
Yeah.
safe and able to come out. And I'm so thankful that that has happened for you, is still happening
It
for you.
is. It is
Yeah,
still happening. I'm gonna
it's
hold
still
on one
happening.
second. I'm gonna have to slap somebody. Just give me 1 second, please.
Okay. See, Miss Di said, yes, I was pushed aside for speaking on the hush. I couldn't suppress it anymore, so I spoke up and loud. Yes, ma'am, Miss Jones. Thank you for tuning in tonight. And you know what? We have to go against the force. When the Lord has put a message in our hearts, we do have to speak what the Lord has given us to speak because there is power in what we say. There's power in our words. The Bible says there's power in the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. Okay, and telling your story, there is power. People are listening. That Miss Jones says yes, we're listening. Um, and then we've got Amaya. Amaya says our voices matter. Yes, ma'am, our voices matter,
Absolutely.
and we need each other. We
We do.
need each other. There are
We
so many
absolutely.
times when I might not feel like, doing this or doing that. And
Mm-hmm.
you know what? Here's a prime example. Let me tell you about this.
Okay.
The other night, I was having a me moment, and Miss Di Jones, is on here tonight, and I know you know
Hmm.
she's such an amazing woman.
All right.
But listen, she was on here. Well, she. I was sitting at my computer, Miss Neek, and I was having a moment, and you know, when we get in that space, we don't really think we're of use to anybody else. You know, we in our
Right.
own head.
Yeah.
Well, she called me. She reached out to me, and she reached out to me. We ended up, that was our first time seeing each other face to face, but you know,
Hmm.
virtually. We've
Hmm.
been talking back and forth for months. But long story short, we ended up having a very intimate, impactful conversation. We ended up having prayer. The whole, you know,
Oh,
we had a whole church session. We had a whole session,
everything you needed.
and she'll tell you that, you know, Stephanie helped me, but I'm going to tell you something. That lady helped me.
Hmm.
She helped me because in that moment I was feeling a certain way. Like,
Right.
am I being effective? Am I doing all this stuff? You know, do people get the message? Like, you
Right.
know, this is not about me. This is about what God has done in my life. Like,
Hmm.
I just can't stop talking about it. A year ago, I was under a rock somewhere. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying? I
Yeah, I
was
do.
under a rock or hiding at the back of a room, not wanting to talk about nothing. Just leave me alone. I don't want to be bothered. But the
Hmm.
Lord done so much in my life in the last year. I can't stop talking about him
Yep.
because he has blew my mind, Miss Neek. He has blew
Yes,
my
sir.
mind. But that's what it is. That's why we need each other. Because in
Hmm.
that moment when we were praying and talking, not only was it about, you know, life and situations, but it changed my mood.
Yeah. Oh,
It
yeah.
changed my mood, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So it's just, it's really important. What do you say to your younger version of yourself, Miss Neat? What would you say to the younger version of yourself?
I've actually had this conversation, and I think it was a couple of years ago. I actually wrote a letter to my younger me. And what I would tell my younger me is to that there are no losses. I
Yeah.
would drive home that
Hmm.
everything happens for a reason, and that
Yes,
I
ma'am.
promise you that none of this is happening, just because,
Hmm.
your thoughts of that you are not put here on this earth to be a victim are correct. You are not.
Yeah.
You living
Yeah.
in the victim now teaches you how to be a victor later.
Yeah.
So I would
Yeah.
really truly just tell, I'm a suicide survivor. I would
I did
really
not know.
tell, I would really tell the younger me that I know it feels like it's a piling on, and I know
Okay.
you feel like you're not protected, but baby, you're protected by the Most High.
Yeah.
So I would
Yeah.
just reiterate to me to keep going. No matter what, keep going. You get stronger, you get more powerful, you get smarter, you learn more lessons, you become more impactful with every experience you go through.
Yeah.
So I would just tell me to keep going. Just keep going. Keep going.
Yeah. You I'm gonna reveal something. You just listen, lady. You are something else. um, Transparent moment. I attempted suicide in my eighth grade year. I don't think I've ever said this out loud. Only a couple people knew this, but I attempted suicide in my eighth grade year. Just trauma
Yeah.
from the things that happened, from not being able to talk about it. At that time, I had not told anybody the things that had happened, and just carrying that and peer pressure at school, and you
Hmm.
know, all the stuff and home life and abuses and all that stuff, and it just seemed like a good thing to do at that moment.
Yeah.
And I thank God that I did not do it, that he didn't let me do it.
Right.
There was also another time in high school. My family was going through this traumatic situation, Miss Neek. And
Hmm.
once again, I wanted to check out. I literally
Yeah.
started praying every night for the Lord to take me in my sleep.
Oh, yeah. I thought I was the only one who did
I,
that. Yeah.
yeah, no, I was just like, I don't want to keep waking up to this.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
it
Hmm.
was so traumatic, the situation that I was in, that I cried to sleep every night, and I literally was just like, I'm done. I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
And every night I kept praying the same prayer: Lord, please take me in my sleep.
Mm-hmm.
But he kept, Jesus,
Yes.
he
God.
kept waking me up.
Yeah. Yeah. And
um,
you listen. First of all, I'm glad you're here because if
yeah,
you
I'm
weren't
glad
here,
you're here too. Yeah, yeah,
if we weren't here, we wouldn't have been able to turn what was so traumatic and turn it
yeah,
into amazing testimonies. These are the trends that we get to set for those
yeah,
before us and those after us. Now we can
yeah.
show them we're flesh and blood. We
Mhm.
real people telling you like,
Miracles,
yo, I did this.
miracles.
Like
Literally,
literally.
we are
Like
miracles.
literally,
Yeah,
and the reality of it is, you know even when I mean, so I full on attempted. I just
yeah.
wasn't successful. Well, they caught me. Well,
Well,
anyway, I
listen,
had a whole yeah.
I I wasn't good at that. Let me just. I can laugh right now.
Yeah,
It wasn't funny at the moment, but
of course not.
I tried scissors. I don't know what I
Oh
thought.
yeah, no, I wasn't gonna go out like that, dog.
Listen, it's not funny. I'm not saying that, but all
Right,
I'm
of
saying
course.
is, I tried. I was gonna do it with scissors and on my
Yeah,
wrist, but that didn't work out. And
yeah,
thank God it didn't work. Hallelujah.
right.
They, but yeah, it was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say, okay?
Yes, I do.
Please do not email me. Do not message me. I'm not laughing about that. I'm
Listen,
laughing at my method. Okay, I was only in the eighth grade. I did not have a clue. Okay,
yes.
um, but
And
thank
first,
God.
let me also add this disclaimer.
Yeah,
Anyone who can laugh at their trauma, give them a break. Do you understand
yeah,
that trauma we know is not funny? We're sharing our
mm-mm.
experiences. But to find some humor in something
Yeah,
that was so dark shows the
painful.
evolution of our healing. So before you
Yes,
start being a keyboard gangster, put
yeah,
it in context. You understand what I'm
yeah.
saying? Nobody's glorifying
No,
anything. We're simply able to, the fact that we can chuckle at our
about it now.
horrible
Yeah,
idea, you know, and
yeah,
then move forward from that is
yeah.
everything. But for me, no, I took a fistful, like the whole
Gotcha,
box. But
gotcha.
they got there in time, and
But God, but
but I woke
God.
up still angry. I woke up still
Yeah,
angry. I was still
yeah,
mad. And I was
yeah.
cussing God like it ain't nobody's business.
But you know
Who?
what? The thing about God, I ain't never said cuss words to him, but I've been angry. I didn't call myself writing some letters and calling
You
myself
wrote,
resigning from
you wrote,
ministry. And
you wrote God some
I wrote
letters.
no, I wrote letters to his pastors and leaders that I'm
Oh,
resigning from
okay.
ministry. Ain't gonna work. I'm not gonna do the work of the Lord because I'm mad. Hey, like that was gonna stop something, right? And here I am, but 7 years later, I'm over here preaching and teaching. So
Listen,
guess who won that battle, Nick?
right. You can write all the
But
letters you want.
hey, listen, I thought I was doing something.
Right. Well,
But yeah,
I'm here
go
to say
ahead.
no. Me and God has had some real street fights. You hear me? Some straight up
Listen, but
gangster fights,
thank you for being real. That's
and
what
that's
I'm
just what
talking
it
about.
is.
People
Absolutely.
need to hear it.
Yeah.
It's okay that we get mad. It's
I
okay
mean,
that
we're
we get
human. It's part of
angry.
our
We are
nature.
human. He knew
Hmm.
we would feel this way. He knew
That's
things
right.
would
If
change.
he know my
That's why
heart, he
he
already
gives
know
us
my plan.
grace. Listen, he know your personality. But
That's
this is
right.
the thing. That's why he gives us grace
Correct.
and mercy and he
Correct.
covers us because he knows we got some stinking thinking and we
Hmm.
need his grace. We need his Holy Spirit to shadow our thoughts and to
Correct.
help us to, to be our interpreter of what we really want to say, regardless of what really comes out of our mouth.
Hmm.
But
Yeah,
listen, you are a author.
I
I say
am.
you're an activist. You are
Mhm.
a mother of 10, survivor, genuine, queen, mother, gifted. You have
Thank-
so many things going on for you. Video creator, and we're gonna go and throw it out there. Ex fighter.
Right. Yeah, I didn't put them gloves up.
You didn't put them up. Thank God. Praise Him. Listen, tell me about your business, Kingdom Cheeks. What is this about?
So Kingdom Cheeks actually is a party rental business, which actually I'm not doing anymore. I'm in the
Oh,
process
okay.
of selling it. Yeah.
Okay.
It was a party rental business, which we still get a lot of calls for.
Okay.
But it was a family business, and
Okay.
as the kids start getting older, they start moving away. So then we didn't have as much help with delivering
Gotcha.
and
Makes a
stuff
difference.
like that. It
Hmm.
got slow. My husband decided he didn't want to like really do it anymore, and so it's
Yeah.
literally been sitting in limbo. And I get calls, especially now it's
All
the
the
summer,
time.
all the
Yeah.
time, and I'm like, I'm sorry, temporarily we're out of business right now, temporarily.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that's what Kingdom Cheeks is. It's a party rental business.
Tell us about your books. I had the amazing opportunity to hear you share about several of your books. I would love for you to talk about really all your books, but especially the project that you have about the younger generation. So tell
Oh
us
yeah.
about your books. Yes.
Okay, so well, the book I'll start out with is my memoir. It's entitled "If My Past Wasn't So Dark, My Future Wouldn't Shine So Bright." And
Mm-mm-mm.
oh yeah, it's a mouthful, but it's a page turner too. So if my past wasn't so dark, my future wouldn't shine so bright. Is my memoir.
Yeah.
It encompasses my life growing up from pretty much from birth up until like up and through the traumas that I went
Okay.
through.
Okay.
And so in that book, I talk about being a victim of molestation or SA, being beaten, being put in the system,
Yeah.
teen mom, dropping out of high school, going from family member to family member. I mean, hell, everything that I was going through, at that time is in that book.
Yeah.
Um, and it's really deep. Um,
I
it's
salute you. I salute you. I'm not there yet, Miss Sneak. So I really
mm,
salute you. I you're so courageous to be that open and vulnerable. I tell bits and pieces, but I don't. I'm not ready to.
yeah.
Whew, yeah, but
Listen,
I salute you. That is amazing. That is
listen.
amazing.
I appreciate it. Um, I tried to do it
Yeah.
not anonymously, but I tried to put it out there and not name names and not, you know what I'm saying? I tried to
How did that
put
go?
you around it. Nah, I couldn't hit send. I couldn't hit send. Like, do you understand that the journey of writing this memoir was
Yeah.
so life changing? It was
Yeah.
so impactful. I mean, I think about it. I was reliving this same. It was like I literally digressed right back to who I was in that moment at that time. You know what I
But you
mean?
had to
Like,
feel it. Yeah.
oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's why I keep
So
stopping.
yeah,
Yeah.
so when you have to literally put yourself back in that same space, that same mind frame, that same age,
Mm-mm-mm.
in your same body, you know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
Like when you
Mm.
go through that, like the things that happen to you, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I
A lot.
did all of that reliving, did all of
Yeah.
that, writing and typing and going through all the crying, the anger, the everything, the feeling every single emotion that I felt even then.
Yeah.
And then when it was time, I had given character names, as opposed to, or
Real
whatever.
names. Yeah.
I couldn't. I'm telling you, in my spirit, it felt like I had, it felt like I was getting my healing, but I just stopped short. You know what I'm saying? It was like
Yeah, because you were
I
still
was,
protecting the abusers.
yeah, and I
Yeah,
guess that's what it was. And so, like, in my spirit of spirits, I'm like, I can't. This ain't.
yeah,
Mm-mm.
I get it.
It's not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so I literally went through that whole book and and changed it. I said, nope. If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it right. If I'm gonna give it, I'm
yeah,
gonna give it all. And that's just what it is. Understanding that
yeah,
I was scared out my mind. I'm like, oh my God, my family about to disown me, Jesus. They about to throw me in a dumpster, child. Like I may as well get used to not, them not calling me, or
yeah.
like
They're gonna cut you off.
I'm about to be
Yeah,
ostracized, pretty
yeah.
much. I
Stop
just need to
talking to
accept that.
you. Yeah,
Yeah. And you
yeah.
know what, though? But dig this. Even with that fear, the biggest fear, that being my biggest fear, even with that, I still published it because
Mm.
guess what? At the end of the day, if I lose you because I'm telling my truths, that I don't need to be around you anyway.
Jesus,
Because why am I going
Jesus.
to continue? Why should I only exist in your space so long as I'm lying?
Woo! Don't make me shout, Neek. Oh my
I'm
God,
just
girl.
saying.
Woo!
I'm just
Yes,
saying.
yes. Listen.
So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna live in my truths. I'm gonna live in my truths, and I'm just gonna take whatever it is when it comes. That just is what it is. Now I didn't tell you that
Yeah,
it ain't got to be your truth, but this is my truth, and this is how I see it. You can have your own perspective of what happened, but this is how I
yeah,
see it. And this is what was done to
yeah,
me. You weren't there, so you don't get to tell me to keep this
yeah.
to myself.
You don't have to ask permission to tell
I
your
do not.
story.
I do not.
Yeah.
I do
And
not.
see, I
And
know
I have to
that.
share that with people all the time.
Yeah.
You don't
I
need
yeah,
permission.
I keep telling people, but I'm still tiptoeing around mine. I'm
There
being
you
honest.
go.
I'm being real.
You meet hey.
I tell everybody else, tell your story, be true to your story, but I'm still protecting people. And the Lord knows what needs to be done. So if it's meant for me to do it one day, a memoir, maybe somewhere down the line, I can't do it right now. But
Listen.
I do what I can. I
Hmm.
do what I can emotionally, because some of it, like you said, you have to relive it to write about,
Yeah.
talk about it. And when
Oh.
I really sit and think about how much stuff
Mm-hmm.
that I have been through, how much stuff,
Mm-hmm.
I think to myself, it's only God that I haven't lost my mind. It's
Well, I've
only
done
Him.
that a couple times too. And I'm still here. By the time I
Yeah.
was 21, I had two nervous breakdowns and a suicide attempt. By the
Jesus,
time I was
Jesus.
21. Okay?
Yeah, yeah.
So
I get it. I get it. I get
listen,
it.
what I will tell you this is this. Whatever is on your path to
Yeah,
healing, you're
yeah.
walking it. Whenever you're supposed to do whatever you're supposed to do, it is in your
It'll
time.
happen.
You
Yeah,
understand? There is
yeah.
no hurry. There is no
Mm-mm.
rush. When it
No.
is time for you to do it, you will. You've
Yeah,
obliged up to this point. You will continue to. What
yeah.
I will also tell you, Queen
It's a
Sir,
journey.
outside of that journey,
Mm-hmm.
is that sometimes you just got to get out your own way.
I
Sometimes
I
you
got
can
you.
hinder yourself because you're thinking more with this than with this. This
Yeah,
needs to be healed. This
yeah,
deserves to be healed. So sometimes you
yeah.
gotta tell her to shut up so she can talk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I let her. I do share parts of my story in smaller settings. I mean, I'm
Mm-hmm.
not ready to air it to the world yet.
Mm-hmm.
But I share a lot of my story in small settings. I'm just not ready to get the microphone and sing to the chorus yet. But let me say this. Let me say this for the record. When the Lord tells me to share something, I share it. And you've heard me
Same.
in person at
Same.
events. When the Lord
Mm-hmm.
tells me to say something or to speak it, I'm going to always do what the Lord tells me to do. That is not
Mm-hmm.
questionable.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, for the sake of writing a memoir or something to that effect, I'm not there yet. But
Yes.
healing is a process, and I have done a lot of healing, but it is a journey. It's a continuation, a
That's
continuous
right.
process. And you are just so amazing. You are speaking some good stuff tonight. We are having a good conversation,
Yeah,
and
when do
I am
I not tell
so
the
glad.
truth? You hear
I
me? When do I
Hey, I
not?
already said it. I already said you were real and
I
and
can't help
genuine.
it.
That's why we click. That is why we
Right.
click. 'Cause I don't know how to do anything myself other than be real. I'm not a person that pretends. If we
I'm
don't
not gonna
click, I'm not
pretend.
going to pretend we click. You know,
I'm not gonna pretend. I'm just not gonna
no, I'm not
pretend.
going to show up. I'm not going to play and pretend that we good. We're
Mm-mm.
not good.
No. You like, you know what you
um,
did. You know what you did. No.
hey, I'm a peaceful person, but I just remove
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah.
I don't go where I don't feel invited or welcomed, and I don't do that fake stuff.
Yeah.
um so we have talked about your books. Tell us about the book project, that is about the teenagers. Let's talk about
Yes.
that.
Young and dumb. That is
Yes.
young
I
and
love
dumb.
the title. I love the title.
Thank you. So young and
Yes.
dumb, growing up, because we're women of a particular age. Growing up, young and dumb was a phrase that I know I heard a lot. Oh, I was young and dumb when I did that. Oh, I was that. Well,
Yeah.
I like to take negatives and turn them into positives. So in this
Yeah.
aspect of it, young and dumb is an acronym for Dreamers Unleashing Motivated Businesses. And so
Okay.
basically, it is a book that I created for young entrepreneurs. So, I teach entrepreneurship.
Okay.
And so basically, it's from anybody age 7 to 100,007. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, and it basically goes into detail with many ways that you can start your entrepreneurial journey for
Okay.
little to no money. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, I made sure that I put a few lists in there of ideas of entrepreneurial jobs or side
Yeah.
hustles that you can actually start right now that you probably wouldn't even think about. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I break
Yeah.
them off into age groups so that you're able to see, even as a
Hmm.
7 year old, that, your 7 year old
Hmm.
can be an author,
Yeah.
and this is how you can do it, and
Yeah.
there's just so many different ways. I'm always about building generational wealth,
That's
and
what it's
that's been
about.
my journey for a long time. And so
Yeah.
I feel like, all of this stuff, like with credit and all of this different stuff that is not taught in school at all. Most of us
Yeah.
are our age and we just now figuring out what credit is and what proper credit is. Hell, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna tell you the honest to God truth. I just found out what my consumer rights were last year and how powerful they
That's
are.
all right. Yeah, that's
And
all right.
but my point is, I
Mm-hmm.
want to make sure that I set the tone so that my
Right.
babies don't learn when they in their 40s how
Right.
important. You see what I'm saying?
Change.
I don't
Yeah.
right. I want them to know now. I want my 7 year old who sees me on cameras and doing interviews and watches me on YouTube. I want
Yeah.
him, I want him to know now. So when he says, "Mom, I want a YouTube channel," and I'm saying, "Baby, don't worry
Yeah.
about it. I got you."
Let's make it
That's what I
happen.
want to
Yeah.
instill. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Teach them young, because at the
Yeah.
end of the day, multiple streams of income is the only way that we're going to get to generational wealth. So why
There you
not
go.
start them out earlier?
Yeah.
By
Yeah.
the time
You're
you're
right.
40 or
Yeah.
43 or 41, they'll
Yeah.
already have the work ethic. They'll already have the wealth that they've already started to build. They'll already have a full understanding instead of getting it later in life like I did.
Oh, I get it. And you know what? You're on track. I love that project that you have.
Thank
I
you.
went to an event a couple weeks ago. Maybe it's been about a month ago, and I
Hmm.
wrote two books to my youngest son, Isaiah. One of them is called Isaiah Learns to Donate, and the other one is the Isaiah's Big Adventures. And
Okay.
so we went to an event, Miss Neat, and I let him autograph the books. And
Oh,
I think I had like five of the books, and I told him, if you sell these five books tonight, you get to keep the money. And so the event that we were at, he was talking to people. He had people coming to the table. They bought all five of his books. He took pictures. Listen, he was signing his autograph like he wrote it. And
Baby.
so, but see, this is what it did. It sparked him.
That's right.
It sparked him. And I
That's
said, because
right.
he goes to events with me, but he's usually bored. He's usually
Mm-hmm.
like, my Nintendo. Went out, you know. And so I thought, okay, let me flip this around. And so
That's
guess
right.
what? My son is in the middle. We are working together on a
Mm-hmm.
book. And
Good.
he told me the characters, he told me the plot. I asked him
Yep.
the questions, and I said, "Don't you want to write your own book so next time you can be telling them about your book instead of the book that mama wrote to you?" And he was like, "Yeah, let's do that." So the other
Yeah.
night he trips me out, and
Okay.
I'm working on his book, and then I
Uh-huh.
said, "Okay, so this is what your book is going to be." He said, "Oh no, I'm going to have three books. I'm going to have a series."
Uh-huh. Yep. He sound like Cameron.
He's
He sound
9,
just like
Miss
my
Meek,
little one.
9.
Mm-hmm.
He told me, "Oh no, I want a series." I said,
That's
"Oh, you
right.
want a series?" I'm like, he really been listening to me. I'm over
Yes.
here having conversations with the authors on my brand, and I'm
Yeah.
thinking he's not paying attention.
Oh no, they
And
listen to everything.
yes, he
Mm-hmm.
told me he wanted a series of 3 books in his series. So
You want a
we
trilogy,
are
boo.
we have a work in progress. We're working on book 1, but we got 2 more to go.
Way to go,
Yeah,
Isaiah.
I
For the record,
know,
that's
Isaiah.
also my son's name. The one you guys met. My assistant,
Oh,
the 15-year-old. Isaiah is
yes,
his name.
yes,
Isaiah
yes. And you
Kimani.
got to meet my baby at what 2 events? I think you've met Isaiah like twice now, right?
I think so, yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
talk about this. Let's we're gonna talk into self-care.
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh,
this
yes.
is a big one. This is such a big one.
It is.
Self-care for me looks like scheduling a day off for myself on my own schedule,
Mm-hmm.
because I have been doing this 7-day a week thing for almost a year now,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm exhausted.
Yeah, that part.
um, and I'm gonna tell you what usually happens is I schedule myself a day off,
Mm-hmm.
and then I think about something I need to do for somebody,
Oh, yeah. Oh,
and I
yeah.
start working. And it's really
Mhm.
tough when you work when you have an office in your house,
Oh, oh, who you
because
telling? I got one.
yeah, when you work from home, you have an office, and I still work full time in a dental office setting,
Oh,
and
okay. Mm-hmm.
I still do dental management, and then I come home
Mm-hmm.
and I work, and I tell myself, Miss Nick, I'm not gonna work 3 4 hours tonight.
Right. Not tonight.
Yeah. So, what does self care look like for you? Tell us about what that looks like for you.
I'm going to be 100,000% honest with you because, of course, I don't know how to do anything different.
True.
Um, Self care takes on a lot of different um shapes for me.
Right.
It
Okay.
depends on where I am, what I'm desperately in the need for, at
Okay.
that particular point in time. I have to
Hmm.
also be honest in saying that there are times I thought I was doing self care and I wasn't.
Wow.
um
I get that.
that
I get
that
that.
I am still trying to figure out what self-care really looks like for Neek. Like, I'm still trying to figure that out. Imagine me, serial entrepreneur, mentor, coach, mom of 10. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But you know what?
carer, carer of the world. And I don't yet know what self-care is for me. But
Mm, yeah.
currently, because I'm going through some waves, currently I'm realizing that
Yeah.
self care for me is checking with me first. That's self care. That me
Yeah.
just saying, you know what? How
Yeah.
you feeling today? Do you want to do this? When you extend an olive branch to help somebody, is that something you really want to do? You know what I mean? Like, self care right now is just checking in with me and seeing what Monique wants, seeing what you know what I'm saying, and literally take everybody else out of the equation.
Yeah.
just solely focusing on what I want. It does this make me happy? Does this bring me joy? Does this make me feel protected? There's a, you know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
it's
Yeah.
because I don't have those things, and I never have.
Yeah.
And I put up a post the other day, yesterday, as a matter of fact, where I thought that I've been the best to me that I could possibly be, and I'm expecting people to reciprocate, right? You're supposed. I put out in the world what I want. It's easy to
Yeah.
love me because I give you, I treat you, I teach you, I feed into you what I want back.
But we
And
don't
that's
get
not
it.
always reciprocated.
No, we don't get it. Yeah.
And so I realized that I've been neglecting me as well, because I've allowed people to get away with treating me mediocre when I know that
Wow.
that's unacceptable. You know what I'm saying? So self care
Hmm.
currently for me is just simply checking in with me first. I roll over and think about my damn self first. Like me, I think about me,
Hmm.
how I
Yeah.
feel. Do you hurt today, girl? Do you feel like getting out this bed today? Do you, me? And then
Yeah.
once I have figured out how I'm feeling, what I'm feeling, then I can
Then you go
start
from there.
assessing everyone else. Yes. So
I
I
love
took
that.
myself to the movies last Sunday
Uh-huh.
and I saw Bad
You
Boys
see?
all by myself.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
giving,
I'm
you
proud of
know,
you. You know,
thank you.
let me tell you something. You got to do that more often because so what I'm thinking right now is about the fact you haven't had time to think about yourself. You've been a wife, you've been a mother
Mm-hmm.
of 10, you have been a daughter, and you've been all these things. And I have some of those same titles. A mother, I'm only a mother to two,
Mm-hmm.
a sister, a daughter, and those things. But and even with my smaller section,
Mm-hmm.
it's tough for me to think of myself. But honestly, you have been programmed into thinking
Yes.
about everybody else
Mm-hmm.
except yourself. That's what I'm thinking to myself as you were talking. I was like, you've been programmed to think about everybody else except for yourself. And it sounds like we're both in that stage of, if somebody asks me what's my favorite color, I'm having to think these days because I've
Mm.
lived so much of my life thinking about
For
everybody else,
somebody
taking
else.
care of
Mm-hmm.
everybody else, making sure everybody else was good in
Yep.
my brokenness, I
That's
was
right.
taking care of everybody else but you know what? That's what kept me broke,
Yeah, and
taking care of
that's
everybody else.
so right. That's
And
so
those
right.
same people
Mm.
that we take care of and that we took care of, they
Mm-hmm.
love us the most, it seems like, when we were the broken
Oh
because we
yes.
were more usable. We were more usable
Mm-hmm.
then. But when the
Mm-hmm.
Lord comes in and gives you the self care and self love and standards and expectation and boundaries,
Baby, you better say that B word. You better
boundaries.
say that B word. It's some
Listen, I got
boundaries for
some
me.
boundaries. You know what? People
Baby,
start acting funny when you get those, right?
you know why? Folk always talking about oh, now you gonna try and change. If change means, and this, oh Lord Jesus, here I go. I'm finna go on one. If change means that I now have time for me and I'm not allowing you to abuse me, neglect me, misuse me, gaslight me, if
Yeah.
change means that I have now, that I'm now equipped with a higher standard, if that's what change
Yes.
means, then damn it, I changed. I done
Yeah.
changed. And I'm going to keep on changing. And I'm going to keep on changing. You hear me?
You.
And I'm going to keep on changing.
Oh my gosh, I love you. Yes, you say it. You say it. You know what? We have
Girl, they
to
better
make
quit
those
playing with me.
changes because listen, we have to learn what we like, what we don't like because we
Yes.
are teaching people how to treat us. And
We
if
always
we just
have.
go with the flow just to make them happy and we're miserable, then what? That's when we wait till we're 40 something years old to start healing. like
Mm-hmm.
me, but I thank God, that the journey started. But what I would say to my younger self is love yourself now. My younger
Yes.
self, love yourself now. Listen to yourself. Don't
Yes.
sacrifice yourself for other people, not to the degree that I did. I
Yeah.
sacrificed myself way too much. I was a human ATM machine. I was a human trash can. People just dumping their stuff. They're telling me all
Mm-hmm.
their stuff. And I'm like, I got 25,000 issues of my own. I'm crying
Yeah.
myself to sleep at night and I'm listening to your stuff. Like,
Yeah.
seriously? I'm over here on marriage number 3. Okay. I'm a
Yeah.
single mom for the second time, 20 years apart. And you want
Yeah.
me to help you?
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I get
God
that.
is so good. He is so good. Um,
That's
I'm
true.
just, me and you could talk for probably 30, 40 hours and still have stuff to
You
talk
already
about.
know. I'm long
Yeah,
winded.
yeah.
I'm
But
controlling myself pretty good on this interview,
listen,
if
let
I
me
might
ask
say
you,
so myself.
hey, you know what? Realness is what it's about. Um, you have been described as lifestyle architect.
Hmm.
Share with me what that means about you helping people redesign their life. Tell me what that means. What does that look like?
So, I like to play with words, because
Yeah.
that's
Wordplay.
just the create.
That's
Right.
what
That's just the
authors and
creative.
poets, that's what we do. Yeah.
And that's who I am, an author and a poet. So,
Yeah.
being a lifestyle architect just means that I help people envision, and construct their lives. You know what I'm saying? And really truly pull out what they really desire, right?
Yeah.
Just like an architect designs buildings, you know what I'm saying? I guide individuals in designing a personal and professional landscapes. You
Yeah.
know, I do that in the most effective way by using my own experiences to
Yeah.
resonate with those that I help, those that I
Yeah.
mentor, those that I coach.
Yeah. Hmm.
I've always been a problem solver. So I can go
Yeah.
into a situation and I can assess it. I can have 2 seconds in a room and tell you exactly what needs to be done, or at least come up with plans as to how you can make that better. You know what I'm saying? How you can
Yeah.
improve
Oh, I
yourself.
get it.
Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's just blending strategies, with a deeper understanding. When you understand human behavior, what you learn, if you've gone through
Yeah.
anything, you start to learn what human behavior
Oh, yeah.
is and how that
Yeah.
changes, and becomes sustaining, and then how transformative it can be.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, becoming a leading motivational speaker. I
Hmm.
mean, I've had the pleasure of having you speak, hearing you speak several times. And like I said, you change the room. You bring
Thank you.
humor, you're comical, but at the same time, you can go from something so deep, like even
Hmm.
tonight, something so deep, and then in the same breath, give us something that inspires us or makes us laugh. How did you get to the point of deciding that you wanted to become a motivational speaker? What was that point that you were like, I really enjoy this?
Well, I would say basically I kind of stumbled on it. I didn't know what a
Okay.
motivational speaker was. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I was a spoken word artist. And then when I decided that I wanted to share, once I got to that point in my life where I was like,
Uh-huh.
okay, I need to figure out what's going on. Just
Right.
quick story. People don't realize that one of the main reasons why I wrote my memoir was because I was in the relationship with my current husband. But we were, just dating. We had been dating for years. I knew this man loved me. There was no doubt about that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
However, I did not love him as deep as he loved me. And I didn't understand that. Like, we had children and everything. Like, what's wrong with me? Like, what, you see what I'm saying? There was like a block
Oh,
there.
I
Because
get
I,
it.
I loved
Yeah.
him. I did. I
Yeah.
loved him. But
Yeah.
I didn't feel that,
You
like,
weren't free.
I wasn't in love. I wasn't like,
Yeah.
ooh, like, if he leave me, like, it wasn't that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I
Was
had
was
that
it like
before.
you was it like you
Huh?
didn't feel free? Did you not really feel free to safe or safe to feel love?
No, I don't know
No?
what it was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the reason
Yeah.
why it made me question myself. Like, what's going on. Like, what? I know
Yeah.
what he. What? Okay, I'm on a pedal. Like,
Yeah.
okay, what's happening? So that's actually what made me, kind of like start looking into what was going on with me. And I
Yeah.
started to take an internal deep dive, and then
Okay.
it started taking me down that rabbit hole. And then I
Yeah.
soon realized I did not feel like I deserved love.
Ooh, that's good.
Whoa. Oh, you
That is good.
that's gonna be another
I
interview.
can
But
identify. Yeah, I can identify with that. Yeah.
yeah, so I didn't understand
Yeah.
that.
Ooh. Yeah.
That's what set it off. You know what I'm saying? That man triggered me wanting to take a deeper dive into what's happening, and I realized that I didn't think that I deserved love, and that's because I never gotten it.
Oh, I get it. Yeah.
I got what folk thought was love. It was their version of love, but they had never gotten it, so they didn't know. Well, anyway, like I said, that's a whole nother interview.
No, I
Um,
get it. I
and so
totally get it. Yeah.
yeah, so it spiraled me out. So as far as motivational speaking goes, when I published my book, it was around the same time Facebook had just introduced the live button.
Yeah.
And I just got on live and I started talking about my book. I just started talking
Yeah.
about, hey, this book I just wrote, y'all, is my memoir. It's deep, blah, 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 blah. Before you know it, I had hundreds of people like on my
Yeah.
lives every day. Then people were throwing around titles like, you're so inspiring, you're so motivational, da 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 da. Then all of a sudden I started hearing motivational speaker, and
Yeah.
I did this because there was no one. There was not a single person. When I
Doing it.
was going through
Yeah.
what I was going through, there
Yeah.
was not a soul. I searched. I swear I searched. There was not a soul. No one that I could say, this lady went through what I went through, or this man went
Right.
through what I went. There was nobody.
They weren't
Oprah
talking
had
about it.
mentioned
Yeah.
Right. Oprah had mentioned that she had been essayed. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
had
Yeah.
gave up a child or aborted the child or something.
Yeah.
Maya
I remember
Angelou
that.
had
Me
talked
too.
about being
Yeah.
essayed, but that was the magnitude for which they went through. You see what I'm saying? Like no
Right.
one
Mhm.
was going through. I went through a crap load of stuff at the same time, simultaneously, and then like right after. You see what I'm saying? And like nobody was talking
Oh, I
about it.
get it.
So
I get
what
it.
I said to myself was, in all my fear, oh Lord, because I was scared. What I said was, I am going to put this out here because I know I'm not alone. And
No, you're
just
not.
like I was looking for somebody else is going to be looking for somebody they can relate to. And I
Yeah.
just so happened to, and so that's what inspired me to start sharing my story on these
Yeah.
platforms and in these interviews and stuff like that, because I want people to understand, baby, you're not alone. This is
You're
not
not.
just your journey. We all, you and your best friend could be going through the same stuff, but because she don't want to burden you and you don't want her to judge you,
Yeah.
y'all ain't sharing. Y'all could be helping
Yeah.
each other through some of the toughest times of your life, but because you
Yeah.
don't want the burden and she's scared you gonna judge her, neither one of y'all is sharing. Y'all could be helping each other right now. And I realized that. And I said, uh-uh. I
Yeah.
have to tell people that there is another way. You do
There
not have
is.
to accept this. Yes, this happens to you, but this is not who you are. Look,
Right.
there is another side. And that's
Yeah.
really what started it. So I stumbled on being a motivational speaker. I was just
Yeah.
telling my story. And it resonated, with
So
hundreds of thousands
you
of
you
people.
you think you stumbled, but God had a purpose. He always has a
Right.
purpose. So it looked like you were stumbling, but it was part of the plan, obviously, because you are definitely doing just that. You are motivating people, encouraging people, and you're on a path to. You're already doing great things, but on a path to doing even greater things. I will say this, and I always tell this part of my testimony, and I tell people. when I was going through, well, not when I was going through it, but when I got on this healing journey, let me say.
That part. Mm-hmm.
When I got on the healing journey and I finally came to the conclusion, like we talked about, I started looking within myself and I
Mm-hmm.
started thinking, okay, from childhood up to date, I've allowed all these people to abuse me, to use me, to do all these things. Why did I do that? And I realized that I had abandonment issues all the way back from when
Yes.
my parents got divorced, you know.
Yeah.
And that I had this thing that I needed approval, I needed acceptance because I had been ignored and shut out and just,
Mm-hmm.
left to figure it out. And
Yeah.
so that went over into my adult life. I realized that. But when we were talking earlier about how we got angry with God, I got angry with God because He allowed these things to happen to me.
Happen. Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
having this pity party. And I know there's somebody that's probably watching and they feel this way, like, all this stuff is happening. Why did you allow this stuff to happen to me? It's a normal question to wonder it. But see,
Yeah.
this is what the Lord tell me. And I will keep saying this, Miss Neek, because this is what changed my life.
Okay.
I had one of those moments and I said, why did you allow this to happen to me? Couldn't we have
Mm-hmm.
done this another way? I'm just, having this. Ugh. And the Lord told me, as clear as I'm talking to you, I heard the Lord within my spirit say, it was never about you.
That part.
He
That
said it
part.
was about ministry.
Baby.
He birthed a women's ministry in me in
Mm-hmm.
2015 called Diamonds in the Rough.
Huh.
Where do
That's
diamonds
right.
come from? Diamonds come from charcoal. They
That's
have to
right.
be
It has
cut.
to be
They have to
pressured.
go through
Yep.
the fire. They have to go through the pressure. They have to be
Yep.
refined. So guess what? That trauma that happened in my childhood, no, did I
Yep.
like it? Did it feel good? No, but it had to happen because guess
Yep.
what? Those are the women that I'm talking to now. Those are the children that I'm covering in prayer now. When I was
Yeah.
married one, two, three times,
Mm-hmm.
divorced three times,
Mm-hmm.
a single mom twice.
Mm-hmm.
When I went through that, and I went through three marriages and divorces in the same church, Miss Neek,
Oh
the
wow.
same church. Okay,
Same
and I was
congregation saw you go
and
through.
I was in ministry. Yeah, the same
Mm.
congregation. So you can
Mm.
imagine, thoughts and people. You know how people are, right?
Yep. They
But I say,
peopling. They
but God,
peopling.
they are
That's right.
peopling. You know what? They were peopling. But you know what? I thank God for what He did in my life, even though
Hmm.
I didn't understand it. He
Right.
obviously he built me for it
That's
because
right.
now everything He's doing in my life now is about that stuff.
Yeah,
Every book
exactly.
is
Yeah.
about redemption and about grace, and it talks to
Hmm.
things that people have been through. Every podcast, healing, empowerment, transformation. If none of that stuff had happened to us,
Right.
Miss Nick, let me bring it
Yeah.
to us. If none
Right.
of that stuff had happened to us, we wouldn't
Hmm.
know Him like we do.
It's
And we
true.
also wouldn't have these platforms and these voices to be able to help pour into the lives of other people. And so I say, you know what? Thank you, Lord, for the good and the bad.
The
Marvin
good,
Sapp,
bad, and the ugly.
yeah, Marvin Sapp has this song that says, "I thank you for it all, the
Yes, I
good,
love that
bad,
song.
ugly, big and small, times of victory and when I fall." Listen, I thank Him for all of it because it has shaped me. It has
Yes.
made me. It has molded me. It has taught me to stand when I didn't want to stand.
Baby. Baby.
Listen, my skin has gotten tough, sweetie. It is tough
Baby.
now. When you can
Baby.
look at people and read people's lips and know they saying what
Baby.
they saying, but you still can smile at them and pray for them. Listen,
Yes.
okay?
Listen. Let me
But
tell you
listen,
something. The
yeah,
power, the power in healing. This is the one thing I say no matter what. Throughout
what's
my
that?
journey, my past journey, as long as
Yeah.
we live life, we're going to be on a journey. We're
Yeah.
going to be having experiences. Life is gonna be lifing. You know what I'm
Life
talking
is, I
about?
was sitting there thinking
Life,
that life is gonna be life, and yeah,
life gonna
yeah,
be life. But
yeah,
one thing I have learned, and
yeah,
honestly, at points, this this very simple thing, which isn't that simple, has also been contentious for me personally. It's
Yeah.
been almost like a poison for me, but it's been the strength behind everything that I've gotten over or gone through, and that's forgiveness. I make it
Mhm.
very clear. You cannot be on a healing journey if forgiveness is
Yeah.
not numero uno. Like it has
Yeah.
to be. It has to
Yeah.
be. And it's
Yeah.
so it might sound cliche, but it's real. When they say
Oh,
forgiveness
it's
is
real.
not for it's not for them, it's for you. You
It
have
is.
to forgive
Yeah.
yourself because you
Yeah.
allowed these things. You taught
It was
these
a
people
different
how to
version.
treat
Yeah.
you. You
Yeah.
you allowed them to get away with the way they were
With
doing you.
those things.
You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying? To go
Yeah.
back on what you said when we spoke earlier, when you said this had to be something that was taught to me or that I learned, right? You're absolutely
Yeah.
correct. I've been taking
Yeah.
care of somebody else's child since I was 7.5, 8 years old. Do you understand what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So I
Oh, I
was
get it. Yeah.
absolutely groomed to put
Grown
other people in front
before you.
of
Yeah.
me. I've been since 7, 8 years old. You understand what I'm
I
saying?
was
I've been
sick.
groomed
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah.
And of
Yeah.
course, now I'm this full grown woman trying to
Yeah.
figure out how to navigate life for me. What makes me happy, how to not settle for things that are important to me. I'm the first person that'll stand on any platform and tell you, yo, you could do this. You're powerful. You're beautiful. You're great.
Yeah.
You're amazing. You're all these things. I'm the first person to shout that and mean it from my soul.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
Yeah.
take a look at myself and be like,
You
yo,
still figuring it out.
but
Yeah.
right, you still trying to figure it out. But see, this is the thing.
Yeah.
You know how you hear people say, well, you can't tell me nothing if you ain't never been through it. That's a lie.
Yeah.
That's a lie. Because
Yeah.
there are a lot of us who are learning from other people's experiences. I don't
It
gotta
is.
go through everything you go through to get that
Yeah.
lesson. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
even if I'm going through it and I fail, that's even more of a reason why you should listen to me because I can tell you and I can tell you distinctively what not to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Don't do
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
because look, I did it, and this is where it landed me. Hello, so
Yeah.
don't, so
Yeah.
don't do it because I'm
Oh,
I'm
trust
telling
me.
you,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. Oh, I
it's
trust.
crazy.
You said so much tonight. I get it. Oh, hey, you don't have to say it, but once to me because I get
Yeah,
it. Listen, it
yeah,
has been so amazing having this conversation with you. We are
you
definitely going to
too.
have to do it again.
Yes,
This
man.
hour has not been long enough. I mean, I'm
I feel
telling you,
like
we
it
could.
flew by.
It did, and I'm gonna have to have you back on here again because there's so
Please.
much more that we could talk about, and it's just been a beautiful conversation. I pray that those of you that are watching have been touched and inspired. This has been a true healing, empowerment, and transformation conversation tonight. Please like, tag, share this video, this interview tonight. There's so many people that need to hear and see this video, not just women, but men as well, because men struggle
Yes,
as well. And so,
yes,
if you know somebody, even if you don't know anybody, like, tag, and share this interview tonight because this interview is going to be a blessing to so many people's lives. And again, Miss Neek, thank you so much
you.
for being with me tonight. And we're going to do this again. I'm serious. We're going to do this again
No,
really soon. And we will figure out what we're going to do. But we're definitely going to partner together and bring so much more awareness to the power of healing,
yes.
vulnerability, and transparency because there's power in it. There's power in it. And so, what would you like to say in your closing thought? What would you like to say?
Well, first and foremost, I'd like to appreciate, to tell you thank you so much for allowing me to share your platform. I do appreciate you.
Yeah.
You already know me. Anytime you want to sit down and chop it up, I'm always available to chop it up.
Yes,
I'm on every single platform as Miss Neek Revamp on every single
yes,
platform: YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, TikTok. I'm everywhere as Miss Neek Revamp. One word. Um, but I want to depart by saying this.
hmm
Going back to what you just said,
okay,
whether you're someone who is going through something or who have gone through something, this message and the message of healing is for everybody.
yeah,
Even if you've never gone through anything in your life, coming into forums like this and learning things like this helps you. So when you do encounter someone who's gone through anything, you now know how to combat that. You now know how to embrace that. You now know how to help them. This is one of those
yeah,
situations when it comes to healing, everybody got something to heal from, first and foremost, let's be clear.
yeah.
But
Everybody,
this
yeah,
is something that will help anybody and everybody. And that's just the
yeah,
thing. This world is already so ugly. We're making so many, folks making excuses for not being held accountable and stuff like that. This is beyond all of that. This is me
yeah,
saying, listen, sometimes you need to take a deep dive and just look at yourself. Sometimes. And it's okay.
hmm
And even when you
yeah,
find something in you that you don't like, baby, guess what? Change it. Even if you just change
yeah.
it one little bitty piece at a time, it's okay.
That's right.
So long as you got
hmm
life, anything that you don't like, you can have. You can change it. It can be changed. Like, uh, I don't think we understand that enough. We don't understand that enough. Um, but I do
Yeah,
thank you. I thank you so much. You guys, my books are sold. Anywhere online books are sold. I do websites, graphic designs. I got a whole slew of stuff that I do. But it's always surrounding us, and empowering my melanated folks, you know.
yeah.
So thank you so much, Steph. I really appreciate you, love.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And like I said again, you are an amazing woman. You stay encouraged. You keep your head lifted high, and you keep doing what you're doing, being a motivation. And just keep smiling. And like I said, you bring much energy and joy into the room when you walk into the room. I mean, you cannot be around you. It's sad. There's no way that you can be around Miss Neat and not crack a laugh. Okay. So thank you for that joy and that happiness that you bring. And you have an amazing night. Gave you all of her platforms. Make sure to follow Miss Neat. See what she's got going on. She will be speaking at the Doc Bookshop, and that is June the 29th. What
Yeah.
is the name of the event? I know
And
it's a what
Black
It's a Black
Empowerment Part
Empowerment
Two.
Part Two.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you're going to be there with some other people that I know. Mr. You, my
Yes.
brother, Mr.
Yes.
Michael is going to be there. Louis and
Yep.
Golden. What's her name? The
Golden
poet.
Goddess. Yeah.
Golden Goddess, and I
Goddess.
heard her
Yeah.
speak before. She's really good.
Yes.
She's really
Yes.
good. And so
Yes,
that
she
will be at
is.
the Doc Bookshop, and that's a Sister Sunday event, correct? Miss Amber Morgan
Correct.
event.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
and
it
so
is. Yes.
love Miss Amber. I will actually be hosting next month for
Okay.
the Sister Sunday next month in July, and so I'm
Okay.
excited about that. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much again for tuning in tonight to the Stephanie M. Seaton Sunday Show. And on that note, we are heading out. Thank you all. Be blessed. We will be back on next Tuesday and next Thursday. Thank you so much. Let me not forget. Make sure that you tune in on Sunday. Sunday night, we are having a men's conference on the plateau. It is
Oh.
called My Brother's Keeper. If you saw the
Oh.
videos earlier, My Brother's Keeper is part two of a conversation. A few months ago, it was Fatherless Fathers, and the panel of men buzzed so much, Miss Neat, that they
Oh.
asked to come back again. They were on the platform. It was a takeover. I took myself off the stage, which I will do again Sunday. They had a open forum and had conversation like none other. And
I
so
love
I
that.
am so excited, that the Lord, listen, the Lord gives us platforms to be
Oh,
able to spread his word. It doesn't mean you have to be within four walls, okay? You
that's right.
spread the word and you minister and you talk about how good the Lord is. You give people opportunity to say what they, need to say, to do the things that they need to do. And I will forever, as long as I have breath in my body and the Lord blesses me, I will be doing that. I will be giving
Yes.
people an opportunity to be healed, empowered, and transformed and give the Lord praise. And so these men are going to be talking on Sunday, my brother's keeper. And it is an amazing group of men, a wide range of ages and different
Yes.
nationalities. And they're having a open conversation. So if you didn't watch the one from last time, go back onto my YouTube channel, the Stephanie M.
Okay.
Seaton Sunday Show. Go ahead and watch Fatherless Fathers that we
Okay.
did previously. It'll bring you up to prepare you for Sunday because it is
Okay.
going to be amazing. It's Sunday night at 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock
Okay.
on Sunday. All right. Thank you,
Yeah,
Miss
I'm
Neat.
definitely
Thank you. Thank
game.
you. Thank you.
I
Yes,
thank you
ma'am.
so
All
much.
right.
Good
Thank
night.
you. Hang in there, Miss Neat, for just a moment, okay?
Okay.
If you would like to be a guest on the Stephanie M. Seaton Sunday Show, if you would like to be a guest on the Stephanie M. Seaton Sunday Show, email Stephanie at stephanieMSeatontheauthor@gmail.com.